We've done a comprehensive video on trigonometry. If you haven't seen the video, please ensure you check the channel for the full video. Now, what is sine of 30? Now, in a right angle triangle, we have this to be 30, 60, and 90 degrees. Remember, we got this from equilateral triangle, which is 2 and 1. So this becomes root 3. So sine 30 would be opposite over hypotenuse, which gives us 1 over opposite. Considering 30, this is our opposite, and our hypotenuse will be 2. So 1 over 2, which is 0.5. So our sine 30 would be 0.5. Now, cos 60. Now, cos 60, okay, cos 60, considering our angle 60, we have cos 60, which is adjacent over hypotenuse. Okay, so here, considering cos 60, this is our adjacent, okay, which is 1, and our hypotenuse is 2. So cos 60 will give us 0.5, which is our option A. Now, tan 45. Now, looking at tan 45 from a right angle triangle, where we have this as 90, 45, and 45. 1, 1, root 2. Okay, so tan 45 would be opposite over adjacent. So considering any of these, we can see our opposite is 1, and the adjacent is 1, which will give us 1. So our tan 45 equals 1, which is option B. Now, which identity is correct? Now, for us to get our correct identity, we have to recall our trigonometrical identities. Now, we have the correct identity here will be sine squared theta plus cos squared theta equals 1. Okay, for another one that would have been correct would be 1 plus tan squared theta equals sec squared theta. But this isn't correct because this is a negative. So the correct identity here is option C, which is sine squared theta plus cos squared theta equals 1. If sine theta equals 3 over 5, we have sine theta, which is opposite over hypotenuse, equals 3 over 5. What is cos theta? Assuming theta is acute. Now, assuming theta is acute, that means we have 3 over 5. Look, considering our right angle triangle, okay, let's call this theta. Now, our opposite will be 3, and our hypotenuse will be 5. So, if we consider cos theta, cos of this theta will be adjacent over hypotenuse. Now, that means we need to find our adjacent. So, for us to get our adjacent, we would apply a Pythagorean theorem that says hypotenuse squared equals opposite squared plus adjacent squared, which is 5 squared in this case, equals opposite is 3 plus our unknown x. So this becomes 25 equals 9 plus x. So therefore our x equals 25 minus 9, x squared equals 25 minus 9. So x squared equals 16. X equals root of 16, which gives us 4. So that means our adjacent would be 4. So for us to find cos theta now would be adjacent over hypotenuse, which would be 4 over 5 as our hypotenuse, which is our option A. In a right angle triangle, the opposite side of the right angle is, now if we have a right angle triangle, okay, now this is our right angle here. Now they're asking for the opposite side of this right angle. Now the opposite side of this right angle is always referred to as hypotenuse. So the opposite side of our right angle is the hypotenuse. Now, cos 90 minus theta equals, we learned that since our alpha and beta are complementary, okay, so since theta and 90 minus theta are complementary, cos 90 minus theta would be equals to sine theta. Okay, so cos 90 minus theta equals to sine theta, which is our option A. If tan theta equals 1, then theta is what? Okay, if our tan theta so they say tan theta, which is opposite over adjacent, equals 1. Then what is theta? Now here, we know that tan is opposite over adjacent. Here we have our opposite as well, adjacent as well. So that means our theta equals 45 degrees. Which of the following is the correct sine rule? Okay, which of the following is the correct sine rule? We've learned 3 rules. We have the sine rule, we have the cosine rule, and we have the Pythagoras rule. So our option A represents our Pythagoras rule, where we have our hypotenuse squared equals opposite squared plus adjacent squared. And our option C represents our cosine rule, where we have c squared equals a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cos c. So the correct option would be option B, where we have our sine rule as A over sine A equals B over sine B. Now, it says cos squared theta plus sine squared theta equals what? Now, these two equals 1. So cos squared theta plus sine squared theta equals 1, which is option C. The hypotenuse is always A, the longest side, B, opposite the smallest angle, C, equal to the opposite side, and D, adjacent to theta. Now, in a right angle triangle, the hypotenuse is always referred to as the longest side of your triangle. So our right option would be the longest side of the triangle. Which function is not defined for 90 degrees at a right angle? Okay, we know that at 90 degrees, angle 90, at sine 90 will give us 1, cos 90 will give us 0, and tan 90 is undefined or at infinity. So the right option will be tan 90. What is the cosine of 0 degree? Now, the cosine of 0 degree is 1. So our cos 0 will be 1. The inverse of sine is written as, sine inverse is written as sine inverse. So if we have sine, okay, and we want to write the inverse, it is written as sine raised to power minus 1. Inverse of sine will be sine raised to power minus 1, which is our option A. If sine A equals 0.6 and angle A is acute, what is cos A? All right, let's look at it. If we have, let's call this angle A. All right, it says sine A equals 0.6. Now 0.6 can be rewritten as 6 over 10. Okay, so this will be our opposite over hypotenuse. So cos A equals adjacent over hypotenuse. But now, if we know that our opposite is 6 and our hypotenuse is 10, we need to find our adjacent. So for us to find our adjacent, we are going to apply a Pythagoras rule that says our hypotenuse squared equals opposite squared plus adjacent squared, which is going to become 10 squared plus equals 10 squared equals 6 squared plus y squared. So 10 squared is 100 equals 36 plus y squared. So y squared equals 100 minus 36, which gives us 64. So y equals square root of 64, which is 8. So at this point, our adjacent will be 8 and our hypotenuse will be 10. So 8 divided by 10 will give us a 0.8. So our cos alpha or cos A will be 0.8. What does the cosine rule help us find? The cosine rule helps us to find both angles and sides of the unknown triangle. What is tan 60? All right, tan 60 from a special angle, we have this as 30, 60, 2, 1, root 3. All right, so tan 60 would be opposite over adjacent, which gives us opposite is root 3 over 1, which gives us root 3. So our tan 60 would be root 3. The opposite side of the longest, the opposite side, the angle opposite the longest side of the triangle is, okay, the angle opposite our longest side. That means the angle opposite our hypotenuse is always 90 degrees. That means it's at a right angle, which is option B. If cos theta equals 0, then theta is, so if we have cos theta equals 0, all right, so our cos theta equals 0, that means our theta will be 90 degrees, which is option B. Which of these is a trigonometric ratio? Now, when we talk about trigonometric ratio, we talk about our sine, cosine, and tangent. These are the three major trigonometric ratios we have. So our trigonometric ratio here will be sine, which is option C. Those are some practical questions on trigonometry. We've done a detailed video on trigonometry. If you haven't seen it, ensure to check the channel for the full video.
Hi, I'm sure you enjoyed the content you just watched. To see more episodes as that, preparing you for your oncoming exams, smash the subscribe button on this channel right now and visit the playlist that we've made for you, covering over 50 types of different exams, including JAMB, WAEC, Cacao, NET, IELT, and the likes like that. Also, in every video you watch, we have the link to our apps where you can download on Google Play Store and Apple Play Store and practice hundreds of past questions for free.